The older I get, the more it seems I am morphing into my mother, which isn't a bad thing because there are many fantastic things about my mother. But what I am about to say, I would never have thought I would have said in a million years. Because it's the kind of thing that she would have said and I'd have rolled my eyes and thought, oh, here we go again. But have you heard the birds singing lately? Have you been out in nature and just heard the beauty of their voices crying out in praise? One of the things that has come out of this season of lockdown is that I think it's given our environment, our creation, just time to breathe without being polluted. And we've seen wonderful results. We've seen the beautiful blue skies. We've seen things flourish. And we've heard creation cry out in such a beautiful way. And it may be that the birds have always sung so beautifully, and I've just been too busy and too oblivious to notice. But now that I have noticed, I can't help but hearing them when I'm walking the dog, when I'm getting into the car, when I'm in the garden, wherever I might be. I'm just surrounded by these birds that are singing out songs of joy and of praise. And it reminds me of a verse that we find in the Bible. In Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 17, it says, "The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing." Just as the birds are singing out their songs of joy, the delight they have in just existing, we're reminded that our God in heaven rejoices with singing over us, because so great is his love for us. When we talk about God rejoicing over us with singing, we're not just talking about God looking out at the human race and it being a kind of general thing, but we're talking about God looking at you and looking at me, and that there is something that happens within him. There is an emotional reaction. There is a pride, there is a joy, there is a love, there is something that just wells up inside of him that has to come out. The sense of, that is my child. I love them. I love them so much that I am rejoicing over them with singing. They are just so precious to me. And how amazing and how awesome is that God sees you and me that way. And I think all too often we're not aware of that. We're a little bit oblivious to it, or actually in our minds we see how God sees us very differently. Rather than him rejoicing over us with singing, we get this sense that, oh, God just tolerates me, or oh, God is frustrated with me, or God must be so disappointed in me. And we kind of invent this God who isn't real. And because of that, we distance ourselves from him. We have this sense, this record playing in our minds that I'm not good enough, that I've messed up. What must God think of me? Oh, God must be so disappointed. And that's not the truth. Because of Jesus, as God looks at us, he loves us. He rejoices over us with singing. What a beautiful and wonderful picture. And I want to encourage us today and in this week ahead that when we hear the birds sing, when we're out in creation and we hear their voices, may that be a reminder that the God of creation rejoices in us. The God of creation loves us. And because of Jesus, we're welcomed. We're good enough. We're precious and dearly loved children. God rejoices over you and me with singing.